Hey, everyone. How's it going? It's Leah here. Awesome sauce. So I am coming back on to do another reading. This is again just going to be a, you know what? I was going to just kind of do it generally and not like pick it for the signs, the elements, but I'm going to pick it for the elements. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to do it for the elements, but I'm just going to do two cards. I'm going to do one from two different decks for the elements instead of doing 3-card reading. So, that will be just as helpful. I am affirming that it's going to be just as helpful for you and that you will get the information that you need. So I'm just clearing off my spacing and setting myself up because I want to keep these readings kind of short. Ooh, a card popped out. Princess of Swords. So some messages and some clarity of message, clarity of what you're thinking. So okay, cool. All right, let's get started. How are you doing? I hope you all are doing wonderfully, fabulously well. I hope that you had a chance to watch the reading for the new moon. That was just on Sunday. If you didn't, you should go ahead and give that a little give that a watch so that you can kind of see kind of what new energy you have the opportunity to bring in. And so this reading is going to be for the week. So the first two cards I'm going to pull are going to be for air signs. So I'm just going to pull one from this deck and one from the Oracle of E, which is a cool little deck. And this is my Tarot of the Trance deck, another cool loopy deck. All right, so let's see. Tarot of the Trance. What can my air signs, including myself, what do we need to know? What gift can we focus on in this week that will help us and give us a full message? So I'll see our gift and the things that will help us and the thing that will hinder us, all in this one card. All right, okay, cool. So the gift that we have this week is the High Priestess. So this is for the suit of, this is for the air signs, woohoo for air signs. So the, what we have the opportunity to develop right now in our business right now is a cool, awesome new idea that is at its very beginning, because the High Priestess is very much about like allowing divine wisdom to come through. So the impression that I'm getting is that there is a new idea that is forming. It's a 2, it's the 2 cards. That's the number of like things forming first, but they're forming and they're coming together. So they're not quite ready to put out into the world, but they are forming. So that is super cool. And the advice of the High Priestess in terms of what to do is to allow it to come to you. So allow yourself to sit in meditation, allow yourself to kind of let different ideas float in and out of your mind, allow yourself to be inspired by stuff around you. Definitely do that. The thing not to do for the High Priestess is to make sure that you're not like jumping before you get the entire download. Think of it that way. So before you allow the ideas to fully form, make sure you're not jumping forward. Because the impression that I'm getting is that in this week, if you give it time, you'll actually see how this full idea can develop. Like you'll be able to like see how it can come to fruition. So the other thing here is don't jump the gun on deciding, like making a decision about this new idea as it forms. Allow it to actually form. Don't shut it down. Don't don't chop it down before it has the full chance for it to fully like develop. So I know I keep saying that, so that's really important. Make sure you give yourself this week to kind of like just allow this thing to develop its full self in your mind. Okay, yay. All right, and so wisdom from the Oracle of E. What would you like the air signs to know? Oracle of E. Solar powered. So this is actually pretty cool, and it's actually really neat because the High Priestess is a moon card, and this card is talking about being solar powered, and I love it. It's a 3. So you've got your 2 where you're allowing yourself to kind of like to let the idea come in and form, and then you've got your 3 moving you forward ahead. So to me, this is saying that like this idea is going to move your business forward. It's going to kind of give you a renewed energy, a renewed like sense of power and of excitement. So it's almost, it's changing the message of this a little bit, in the sense of like the burst of energy and the burst of intuition that you're getting, like what you're getting to do. Go ahead and do those little things like through this week. You might be getting little bursts that maybe don't necessarily make sense right now. Allow yourself to do those things, because those things are the things that are going to help form the help give stability, give like tangibility to the idea, help the idea fully formulate by like actually, like, it's really interesting. So a lot of times High Priestess is all in the mind. This card is telling you also to allow yourself to have a little bit of grounding with it. So if you feel a burst to do something, just go ahead and do it. Don't make yourself have to figure out why you're doing it. Just do it, because that's part of the idea materializing. That's the word. That's part of the idea materializing. So hopefully that is helpful, air signs. Woo woo. Okay, that's 6. All right. So let's move on to water signs. So I'll remember water signs are at 6:33. So water signs, what is your message for this week? Message for this week for water signs from the Tarot of the Trance. And this card just popped out. Okay, so actually you had the 5 of Cups that popped out. So 5 of Cups is kind of like disappointment, stuff that you're kind of disappointed about, things that kind of happened and you felt like they didn't quite go the way you wanted to, like conversations that you felt didn't quite pan out the way you wanted to. A lot of it's emotional suite. This is the Suite of Cups. Well, yeah, obviously it's the Suite of Cups. That's the Suite of Emotions. That coupled with the Justice card, which is actually your card, is letting me know that like there are some things, there's something that's going on in your business life that is maybe a little bit upsetting. It's just not panning out the way that you wanted it to do. You wanted it to pan out. But the thing to know here is that it actually is leading you. It's opening up a path for you. And it is, the thing I'm getting is that it's opening up a path for you. In the moment, it does not necessarily feel good. But when you're able to kind of like pull yourself up from the experience of being in the experience, you can see why it happened, you can see how it happened, and you can see that like the ramifications of it are actually going to leave you in a better place than you were, right? This is more just like disappointment because it was not going the way that you wanted it to go, but this is telling you that it actually is ultimately fine, because like I said, it's opening up another path for you, and all the things are in place that like things are have already been put in place to like have this new path be easy. So this is just telling you, like, as you begin to feel this type of energy, to allow yourself to know that ultimately, like, the justice is being served kind of thing. The balance is actually being restored through this kind of experience. So hopefully that is helpful. Let's see what the Oracle of E has to say for the water signs. I think I'm just going to do this as water signs, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the other 2 signs. The other 2, not the other 2 elements. Okay, so water. From scratch. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, cool. I get it. This is not, this kind of feels like you're having to start over, right? This kind of feels like, ugh, seriously, like something didn't pan out the way you kind of were hoping it would. it's setting up a situation where, you know, stuff is in place, but it's like, oh my goodness, because the card here is from scratch, right? And this is the 6 and 5 to 6. And I feel like Justice cards in some decks has something to do with 6 also. But basically, this is telling you this is okay. So you don't really feel like moving forward, but you can. And even though it feels like you're starting absolutely from scratch, everything has been put in place. Everything's already in place. It's not nearly going to be as difficult. It's not nearly going to be as tenuous to do, you know, to actually start from seemingly quote unquote scratch. So just kind of roll with it. Just kind of allow yourself, allow the guidance to show up. It's actually there. You know, it's like this is one of those things like you have a choice to stare, like in this card, you have a choice to stare at the cups that have been spilled, or you have a choice to stare at the cups that are still upright. And that's difficult sometimes, stare at the cups that are upright, to go over to the cups and like, okay, well, these cups are still here. And what can I do with these cups? All right, you know, but this is the challenge in your week, right? This is a challenge in this new moon energy to like focus on the cups that are still upright and go ahead, do what you got to do. Just go ahead and start from scratch. It's not nearly going to be as difficult. I hope that is helpful. Okay, so I'm going to end this one and I'm going to do another one for the other two elements. So we did air and water here. So I'm going to do earth and fire in the other video. Okay, I'll be right back.